Thank you, Mr. Chair. You know, I think there's a few of us here in Congress that are old enough to remember a time when we actually did nuclear bomb drills in school, and it's probably would have been a futile action had there been a real attack. And although a nuclear warfare is still an existential threat to all of us and our allies around the world, it has been arms control that have led our lives, go about our lives daily without that worry of nuclear war. Agreements like the Intermediate Range Nuclear Force Treaty, known as INF Treaty, signed in 1987 between the United States and the Soviet Union, which led to the elimination of thousands of United States and Russian nuclear missiles. Now, in recent years, it's become apparent that Russia has been violating this treaty, and in response, in February, the Trump administration announced its withdrawal to the consternation of our European friends, giving both the United States and Russia freedom to produce more nuclear weapons. And it's the general consensus of arms control community that we should be working with Russia to bring them back into compliance instead of adding to our nuclear arsenal and sidestepping NATO. Once again, this administration is alienating allies who don't want to be targets for Russian attacks. A NATO Secretary General said clearly, "We do not intend to deploy new land-based nuclear missiles in Europe." And in recent testimony to Congress, General Paul Selver, the Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, stated, "There are no military requirements that we cannot currently satisfy due to our compliance with the INF Treaty." In other words, the world has enough nuclear weapons to destroy civilization. It's clear that our withdrawal of NIF is being driven by extreme elements of our administration who've made their careers out of destroying arms control agreements. To stop this nuclear escalation, my amendment would prohibit funding for missile systems non-compliant with the INF Treaty unless the Defense Department demonstrates an ally has agreed to host the NFI missile and that we've exhausted all other diplomatic options. I urge my colleagues to support this amendment to prevent a dangerous and costly nuclear arms race. Enough is enough. I reserve.